four, three, two, one, go!
Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. And you have the super team of sports talk here with y'all. On one half of it, they call me Diego Barishnikov, the black Dominican Russian, here checking in with my main man, my partner in crime, representing North Georgia and Hickory, North Carolina. Tell these people who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A, and AA Sports, broadcasting live on a Tuesday for our NFL recap show and doing what we do. We are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia, the place where it was 70 degrees Sunday and the Hawk is back today. Jesus, dog.
I started to fight a grill up yesterday, but I'm like, nah, never
It's off the hook, man. I should have grilled Sunday. Straight up. It felt good.
I'm saying yesterday, but yeah, I meant Sunday. Yeah, that's what it was, 70. Crazy.
Cold as hell out there now. But we here, man. What's good?
Man, I can't call it, man. Everything good. Good people, we appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Don't forget to continue to watch, hit that subscribe button when you're watching us on the YouTube channel. And those of you guys that watching will listen to us rather on the podcast platform, whether it be Apple iTunes or via Spreaker. Continue to leave us some feedback, likes, shares, all that good stuff. It's greatly appreciated.
Yes, sir.
We keep doing what we love to do. Quick little rundown of what we're going to cover tonight. Of course, we're going to go over Week 13 in the NFL. That'll be, of course, the bulk of the show as always. But we also got some NBA talk. We're going to talk about the college playoffs. We got to talk about it, but I don't really want to, but we got to.
Yeah.
Other things going on in the NFL, and we will look at the current playoff standings.
Yes, sir.
After Week 13 is a wrap. So we're going to jump right on into the start of the show, though. You guys who regularly listen to us know how we started off, though. It's going to be a little segment we like to call something like the news. This is our entertainment section of the show. This could be anything from a random liquor store robbery to an ex-NBA player now selling T-shirts out of the back of his car. It could be anything. So
it ranges. It really does.
Try to bring y'all a nice little variety.
Yes,
from
sir.
Week to week. Uncle Haight, as always, start us off. What you got for us?
All right, good people. I got a few stories for you. This first story is about a 59-year-old man in Louisiana by the name of Earl Jethro. Earl Jethro went into Popeye's Chicken on Friday. He ordered his chicken. Earl got into it with the manager. 59-year-old Earl ends up throwing his chicken back across the counter at the manager and pulling out a gun.
Oh.
Yeah. This argument was over condiments.
Oh, we wanted a lot of Cajun sparkle there.
Yes. And the manager wasn't giving extra from what it was said, and homie pulled the gun. Now, he staggered out, left, and was discovered at another restaurant a little bit further down the street. But this here goes back to a popular opinion I've got. How many times you go on Popeyes and people are actually happy to be working there? They have the worst fucking attitudes every time you go on Popeyes. Like, the worst.
Yeah, I hate going to any type of fast food, quick food spot, and they act like them damn condiments is coming out of their check, bro.
Right. What is you saying? The only place that they don't do that shit to you is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A should be count as fast food because they're just nice.
Right. I can go in Chick-fil-A and ask for 100 buffalo sauce, and I'm going to get 100.
They going to give them to you. No question. I ordered an 8-piece nugget. Okay, cool. Here go 5 of these sauces. 5 Polynesians. Here you go.
Right.
Anyway, shout out to Chick-fil-A. Shout out to you. All right, next one. This one here. Tamarcus Cook, 31-year-old pastor of St. Smyrna Baptist Church in Noonan, Georgia. Did you hear this story?
I had it on the list. Go ahead.
Okay. Tamarcus Cook, pastor of this church, was ran up on one of their buildings on some land that they own, and there was a gentleman on the land. Looking around or whatever. And the dude, he said, "May I help you?" The dude asked him, he's like, "Are you security?" He's like, "Yeah, I am." So the trespasser ran up on the pastor, headbutted him, which would require 13 stitches, and broke his nose. However, 31-year-old Tamarcus Cook wasn't no punk. He wasn't a punk, people. He pulled that thing out, that 380, put 3 in the air. How many pastors are rolling with the heat, dog?
Hey, there's a lot of things that pops out about this story when I read it. Because first, AJC had to put the head butted part in the title, in the headline. So that's what made me click on it right there.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay. And then have you seen the update? They took a picture of him after the. Look on AJC.com, people. The Tamarcus Cook, pastor who shoots got into it with a trespasser. He got a big ass bandage patch over his whole eye. I think it says his face is fractured.
Yeah.
And some more stuff. And then I was like, well, 380? Is that his girl's gun?
That's a little girl gun.
he got his chick's gun on him. Yeah, but that was funny.
He out there handing out flesh wounds with that gun. He ain't trying to stop nobody.
Right. And 31 and a pastor. I thought. I mean, I guess you could complete it. I thought that was like a lot of schooling and mentoring and.
That sounds like a hustle.
Hey, I'm just saying, you get some of these people out here in these strip mall churches.
Hey,
I'm not gonna shit on nobody's church or nobody's religion. I'm not gonna be that fool tonight. Yeah, but it was our show,
and
right.
That's us. But don't y'all run up on Tamarcus Cook. Don't do it.
We'll mean no harm.
Nah.
Yeah. Tamarcus about it. Go ahead.
All right. They didn't release the name of the person at this school, but at South Atlanta High School, 2 students and an employee got sent home because they were another employee bought some weed brownies into the school.
So why the student get sent home?
He was sick. They got sent home to the hospital because they was real high. So like 2 students and another employee. They must have been like they auntie or something. Because why would they share the weed brownies with the other students? Unless those super duper seniors, like that old boy who was in our 12th grade class, who was about 21.
Yeah, he had an apartment. He was asking the teacher out on dates. We gonna leave him nameless.
Yes.
But yeah, it's some of those cats out there.
Yeah.
So the teacher got sick too?
It was 2 people who worked in the lunchroom. One person brought the brownies in, gave them to another employee and 2 students, and they got real high off of it and had to go to the hospital overnight. They must have got high.
Just the students?
2 students and one other employee.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at, because the other employee is the irresponsible one here. Yes. Not just for giving the students the weed brownies, but a lot of people don't know. Well, this is what I've read. Mm-hmm. That everybody knows you cannot, if you're going to eat an edible, you have to eat it in small portions. You can't, like you sit down and eat a cookie. You can't eat a whole weed cookie or a whole weed brownie. You can't. It's too much concentrated THC in it. And you're going to get sick. Mm. So a lot of people don't understand that when you buy edibles, you can't just eat the whole damn thing like you would a regular cookie. You better break that shit off until you can figure out what your tolerance level is. Otherwise, you'll be in the hospital like these jackasses.
Learning lessons from that boy Diego about the edibles. Shout out to him. All right. Got 2 more real quick ones. This one here is some more irresponsible grown people living with their parents shit. Quinicia Wilson.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a name for you. Quinicia got indicted on 31 counts, 22 of them with theft, because Quinicia signed up her grandmother, Beatrice McIntyre, who's 86 years old. She got her registered as a home aid person and been getting checks for years. Checks in the amount of $20,723.45. The folks found out about it and indicted her for it. Y'all make me sick, man. Y'all make me sick. Grown
is it $20,000 a year or
that's a little part-time job. So she signed up as a home aide, like she's supposed to go to people's houses. She was turning in time sheets and everything. Never mind, grandma didn't know shit, nothing. And
no, I was just trying to make sure it wasn't a total of $20,000 over however many years it was. I'm breaking that down. Like, that ain't no money. They could let her ride, but if it's like
they ain't letting nobody ride for no foolishness like this.
Oh man.
43 years old, your grandmama 86, and you doing this to her, and you know she gonna testify. That wasn't me. I ain't do that shit. I ain't know nothing about it.
Man. And we're talking about. I mean, we still talking. I'm gonna do the math right
That's
quick.
not a lot.
$20,000. It's not. So it's like, why are you risking jail over that?
To get a purse or something, to get some Jordans. That's not even worth it, B.
If you can even get that, that's like $380 a week before taxes.
Not even worth it, people.
Nah, not at all. But that's funny as hell. But you see it all the time. People got maybe, you know what? Now that I think about it, because I was just about to say, you see it all the time. With people we put in utilities and other people's names and shit. You know, you always, and it's all, a lot of times it's an older person that ain't really got the bearings about them, or they old, and the younger people know that they got like 1,200 credit score, so they know they can get anything in grandma's name, so they put that shit in grandma's name. But it could be payback.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes in our communities,
yes,
when things are a little economically challenged around the house, you done burned your credit.
Yep.
Daddy done burned up his credit. Well, look over there. You got a little 8-month-old. What's her name? Quenisha. With perfect Quenisha with perfect credit. Let's put the phone bill in Quanisia's name. Quanicia won't find out about it until she's 25 and she goes to apply for something for herself. And the phone company like, hey, you owe us a balance.
Yep. And what? It's been in collection since she was a child.
Right.
So, you know, it very well could have been some payback.
Maybe it was payback, but I doubt it. But come on, man, do better. That's grandma. Don't do your grandma like that.
All right, this is my last one here. This is some foolishness in every word possible. Jeffrey Pickens, 48 years old, of Loganville, was convicted on 2 counts of aggravated molestation and sexual battery and defended himself for a week. He molested a 3-year-old child and videotaped himself doing it. Why'd they listen to the case?
What is there to listen to?
Why'd they listen? Why'd they even see? This is where we need to get away from due process. Dog, we see the tape, straight to jail, pass go, and we're gonna let everybody know you're a molester, so they're gonna see about you while you in there. Wow, could you imagine being the judge on the bench listening to this dude try to finesse you?
Right, because it's an excuse.
Absolutely. Such a joke. Do better, judicial system. That shit ain't necessary. Do better. That's all I got, dog. What you got?
All right, I just got one quick thing right quick. It does pertain or tie into sports just a little bit. Of course, you know, mostly last year, you know, it still comes up now, but you don't have as many players doing it. The whole NFL thing with the players kneeling, right?
Yeah.
So over this past Thanksgiving, you had two sons. One of them's 21 years old, who doesn't say how old the other one was, but they basically get into an argument and then a fight after they had been drinking all day. They get into a fight over arguing about the anthem and players kneeling during the anthem. Right. This is on Thanksgiving Day, mind you.
Damn.
The dad gets involved. Dad Jorge Luis Valencia Lamabrid, 51, ended up getting charged with assault with a deadly weapon because he ended up shooting the 21-year-old in the hand and the leg after the argument escalated even further. Mind you, the rest of the family is sitting over here having turkey and dressing and macaroni and greens and whatever else you have on Thanksgiving. Y'all can.
I wonder who called the folks.
Well, you got to kind of call an ambulance once this dude shot in the hand and the leg. You got to kind of call somebody.
They
at that
just
point.
drop him off. You gonna take this?
just roll on by ER and just dump his ass out.
Drop him off. You got hit in the drive-by on Thanksgiving. Senor, on Thanksgiving.
Right. Oh man, craziness. But that was the only thing I had other than the Tamarcus Cook story, which is funny as hell too. So that's a wrap on something like the news. People, hope y'all enjoy that every week because we damn sure enjoy finding the stories and then telling the stories to y'all. I
kept it at AJC.com this week. They was entertaining.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna start looking some other. So I'm gonna look at some other places. I'm gonna just start pulling up the map, pick up a random city, and go to their local news and see what's going on in one of them.
People wilding everywhere in the country, so everywhere in the world. You ready to go to work?
Yeah. Matter of fact, let's start doing that. We can give Atlanta a break a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but let's get to work, people. Y'all know It's time to recap last week, week 13. Run down these scores, and then we'll probably talk a little bit more about a few of the games and others, because like we said and told y'all last week, all of you scrubs, it ain't no need to really talk about y'all no more.
No.
For the most part. All right. Last Thursday game, the game that was popping off as we were filming last week's pick show. I didn't think it would be a blowout, but I just knew the Saints were going to win.
Sure did.
Yeah, that didn't happen. 13-10, they dropped to the Cowboys. The defense looked tough, man. It looked tough last week.
You know, we can move that up from the overreaction. We can talk about those few tidbits now. Do you think the Saints got exposed a little bit?
I mean, I wouldn't say – you can say exposed, but I don't think everybody has the defense to be able to do that. Because with Dallas, they got fast linebackers and a lot of athletes. So they was able to basically only rush 4 because they got good pass rushers.
Yes.
They was able to, just basically rush 4 and then use them speedy linebackers over the middle of the field. That's why you didn't really hear a lot from Kamara. Ingram didn't really get off. The run game wasn't hitting on nothing. And, of course, they only have Michael Thomas really as a receiver. They got a couple other young guys they try to, get involved in the mix, but you can count on Michael Thomas. And
he actually dropped some balls last week, which is surprising.
He dropped some balls. Drew Brees missed some passes. Kamara missed a couple catches. They didn't look right at all.
Hey, man, Dallas's defense looked really good last week. Really, really good. Man, I came away from that game, everybody excited, the Cowboys and everything. Hey, people, y'all should have won that game by like 20. 25.
I was just going to say, because just when we sitting here giving kudos to Dallas defense, we got to get some kudos to the Saints defense for keeping the game close. I mean, I think they sacked Dak 7 or 8 times.
Dak is notorious. He's almost – I think a lot of these young quarterbacks do this. I ain't going to just say it's a Dak thing. That holding on to the ball shit, man. Get rid of it. Dak is like notorious for that. Get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. He reminds me of because Ben hold the ball a lot.
Yep.
Hold the ball a long time in there. So,
but I came away from that game impressed with Dallas, man. What would you say their defense? That's one of the better defenses in the league right now.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the better ones. I put them, probably top 7 or so.
Yeah,
I had to think off the top of my head. Yeah, probably top 5.
And that's saying a lot in today's league. Because with the way the rules are, you can't play with so much defense to begin with. So,
So you see a defense like them. I know the Ravens statistically are up there. They actually, I didn't think they were as good as the stats said they were.
Right.
But they are pretty solid. Pittsburgh had been solid. They kind of slacked off last week, and we'll get to them. Yeah. But you got a very, very, very select few good defenses. Denver can play really great at times.
They took a loss on Sunday with Chris Harris. All right, last thing on this game. It done got cold here in the city. I've been eating a whole lot of that chunky soup lately. Am I gonna turn into a sucker like that, Dakota?
Well, what do you mean?
I've been eating a whole lot of that chunky soup lately. They're gonna make me a sucker like Dakota, man. Keep it real with me.
I promise you, I'm lost. What am I? Is that does he do chunky soup commercials?
Yeah, he's doing chunky soup now.
Okay, that's what I figured. I was like, I know it's a punchline there, but I'm lost. But okay, I got you. No, don't do it, man. Don't do it.
That shit good when it's cold.
But yeah, you're right. Especially the steak and potatoes and the grilled cheese. What?
Yes, sir.
They always get the same kind of dudes to do them, though.
Nah. I want to say he got that job. No, he got the yogurt from Cam. I don't know who he got the chunky soup from, but that's him now. So he got to get him something else. All right, let's run through these. I don't know what to say about Atlanta. I got something for them later. The Ravens went into Atlanta, beat them 26-16. We'll talk about Atlanta later. Shout out to the Ravens. The Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton gave the game away. I mean, literally gave the game away to Tampa. He helped that boy Jameis out for real. Because Jameis, that's 2-3 games in a row they don't win, give or take?
It is, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I was putting together something last night. Well, actually just kind of gave it away, but I was going to ask you whose stats are these. Over the last 3 games, but they Jameis's. Over the last 3 games, Jameis numbers. 61 out of 84, completing 72.6% of his passes. 760 yards. The yards are kind of mediocre, but they decent.
You said last 2 games?
Out of the last 3 games.
Okay, yeah, 700
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
That's not great.
But the 72.6, basically 73% completion percentage. 6 touchdowns, only 1 pick. 90.6 QBR, if you go by that. If you go by passer rating, that's been 120.6. So Jameis been playing some pretty decent ball here over the last couple of weeks.
The only problem we've always had with Jameis is protecting the ball. I think I speak for us both. I think we both like him as a leader. He's a solid player when he ain't throwing the ball away. If he gets that under control, you're all right. You're okay. But he got to get that under control.
That and groping Uber drivers and stealing crab legs and
see, I'm keeping on the field, dog.
All the mischief that he gets himself into. Because without the mischief, there's no question about whether they're gonna keep him next year. You know,
I think we both like him. It's just the mischief. It's not wild animal. Well, it kind of is wild animal stuff, but it just seems like mischief with him. Just
it did up until the groping of the chick in the Uber car. Everything else was just kind of like all right, whatever. You James, you can't do that, but whatever. Once he starts groping chicks, then it's like, all right, dog, we can't just gloss over this. Yeah, you can't just gloss over that.
Yeah, we got something in regards to dudes and how they treat women a little bit later. The Denver Broncos have won their 3rd straight game. They beat Cincinnati. I can bring this overreaction up too. They won 3 straight games. Is Vance Joseph safe for next year? Kind of feel like he is.
I would like to think.
Their schedule,
I would hope
they can win 3 out the next 4.
And they're still in the playoff hunt, if I'm not mistaken.
They right there at 6-6.
Yeah, they right there with all the other 6-6 teams. Right. Hey, the 2 things I've seen happen. Main thing is that boy Lindsey is running the ball something serious right now.
Another undrafted dude running the ball.
Mm-hmm. And then the defense is playing. Defense is playing pretty good. So you have a run game in defense. I don't care what era you in. That's a pretty successful formula in most cases. And as long as Case Keenum don't turn the ball over.
Turnovers tend to be the key to most situations in football. Going back to my Panthers real quick, we only lost by 7, but had Cam not given away all that field position, we might have won that game. So protect the ball, your team might win, people. The game that got Mike McCarthy fired, Arizona beat – what's up?
Okay, never mind. You got them down on the list. We'll go over it later. Go ahead.
All right, I skipped over the Rams. The Rams went up to Detroit, beat them 30-16. Felt like they were toying with them. Todd Gurley's pretty good. Arizona went up to Green Bay. It was snowing up there, and a rookie quarterback beat them on their home field. I was sitting there about 4 o'clock in that game ended. I was like, it wouldn't even surprise me they fired him like today. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Well, they did it. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but, hey, man, I'm not surprised. Something kind of had to shake. You just gave Aaron, 133? You knew it wasn't going to be him. So something had to shake.
Right. And, we had there was a lot of people I saw, at least on social media, at least, talking about how can you do a Super Bowl winning coach like that, fire him in the middle of the season. First of all, that Super Bowl was how long ago?
That was a long time ago. Hell, why does it not seem like he been there as long as he has? I didn't know he been there that damn long. 13 years is a long time.
Long time, because he got there around the same time Marvin got to Cincinnati.
I forgot he coached Brett Favre for a season or 2. Man, Brett Favre been retired a long time, people. He had a good run.
And that one Super Bowl that they won, that's been the only Super Bowl that they've been to. And with Aaron Rodgers and some of the talent that they've had, at least on offense, they should have went to a couple more Super Bowls.
Easily. Man, that was a good Super Bowl party we went to that night. Shout out to that boy, 305. That was a good party that night.
Yeah, but getting back to the people that say how can they do a Super Bowl winning coach like that? In my opinion, I think they did him a favor.
They did.
Going ahead and doing it early. That way he can start getting his ducks in a row. He can get settled. He can take him a couple weeks off if he need to, kind of sit back, breathe, and get ready to start going on interviews because he is going to get a plenty. Of course, his name been linked to the Cleveland job since early in the season from what I saw. So he gonna be okay.
And
He
shout
gonna-
out
he
to
gonna be
you,
all right.
man, because you predicted it early this season. I really thought they were gonna have a better season, but it didn't get done. And I would much rather you let me go now than have me be a dead man walking the next 4 weeks.
Right? Because if you already know you're gonna fire him, why wait? What you waiting on?
Should I start showing up late?
Oh, we supposed to put in.
Anyway.
Oh, we supposed to put in game plan. Okay.
Man, run what you want. You changing my plays anyway. Run what you want. All right, let's keep it moving.
Omaha.
You know what I'm saying? All right, Miami beat Buffalo. Moving forward, this was kind of a shocker here. The Jaguars defense actually showed up this week. They beat
So big way.
6-0. Man, if I'm not mistaken, Andrew Luck has been a machine for the last 2 months. A machine.
Yeah.
And they didn't put up a point, not a field goal, not nothing.
They played savage defense.
Did they not show up for that? What's the boy name? The starting Cody Kessler.
Cody Kessler.
I ain't gonna say they did it all for him, but I don't think he turned the ball over as much, as the other dude did.
I mean, they put up 6 points though. So at the end of the day, the defense probably felt, hey, it's Cody Kessler, and we know we got to go ahead and have any chance. We gotta go ahead and shut these boys down.
Yeah. That game gonna come back, I think, to bite the Colts because they're in a dogfight right now. I'm thinking everybody took them to win that game. Everybody.
Yeah, but that's the Jacksonville defense we've been expecting to see all year, but haven't seen since week 3 or 4, give or take. That was definitely a missed opportunity for the Colts to kind of get a leg up on the rest of those 6-6 teams. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes on go down the stretch because they got Houston this week, I think.
Yeah, they got Houston this week. All right, I'm gonna be petty for a minute. Can we raise a glass to the Houston defense? Shout out to that Houston defense for humbling that boy Baker Mayfield. People, I'm not about to get back in some cases, but
right.
the shitstorm he was all what he was on last week, all of that. We called it. We knew it was gonna happen. He ate real good off Cincinnati and Atlanta. They probably 31 and 32 in defense, respectively. Probably. He ate good off of them. They're ass. You went to a real defense in another city and put up 3 picks, and the game was over with in the first half. Now, of course, people gonna look at them stats, and stats do lie people. He did throw damn near 400 yards, and I want to say 2 touchdowns. That game was out of reach. Baker's gonna be okay.
It was all after the fact.
Yeah, Baker's gonna be okay, but this league has a way of humbling you people. And Hugh Jackson may very well be full of shit. I believe we talked about this on the side the other day. But I don't believe that's his place to call him out in the media left and right. I just don't agree with that. You're a rookie. So
right, you know what I'm saying? I don't even as a vet, because we talk about Ben's ass all the time. How he throws people under the bus subliminally and all that shit in the media. And he a vet. So like I say, you a rookie, dude. I mean,
yeah.
I know people kind of like his attitude and everything. And if I'm in that locker room, I probably like it as well. But it's just something about. I understand you don't want to be cookie cutter, but when it comes to winning in this league and just the way shit kind of go, your type don't. It comes around to bite you at some point.
Absolutely. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, sit down, be humble.
Absolutely.
All right, next up, we got the Jets. They lost 22-26 to the Titans. Titans pulled this game out late to stay active in the AFC playoff picture. Boy, I got all kind of tongue-tied. Next up, the Chiefs. They beat the Raiders 40-33. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. They definitely missed Kareem Hunt, it looked like, in that game.
I think you skipped one.
Did I?
Giants.
Yeah. I did miss that. The Giants beat the Bears 30-27. You took that game.
I did.
Yeah.
They tried to give it away.
That worked out well for you. What'd you think about that onside kick with Odell?
About him flapping at the ball?
Yeah.
I think he realized that he wasn't going to get to it,
Right.
and he wasn't finna get that ball.
Right.
So I think he was trying to just kind of slap it out of bounds.
Right.
I don't think it was a Cam in the Super Bowl situation.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think it's that.
No.
But I think it was what he trying to do, and he got up like he was mad at one of the blockers because I think somebody missed the block. The guy that actually recovered the ball that Odell was trying to slap it from, if I want to say it was 34, I can't remember his name, but if he picks up that block like he is supposed to, if I'm not mistaken, that's a clean recovery for Odell.
Yeah.
So I think he was a little frustrated about that as well. But they got the win.
Yeah, they got the win. That's all that counts. Is Trubisky back next week?
I don't know. Chase Daniel's holding it down. So, well, they kind of they're in a little bit more of a closer race now that they dropped this game.
Yes, they are.
So I was going to say if the Bears had won this game and Trubisky maybe was on the fence, depending on who they play next week, maybe you sit him another week,
They'd
get him
another week.
Get him fully healthy. But I'm assuming that he'll be back.
He got to play next week. They're playing the Rams in Chicago, so he's probably playing next week.
Yeah, and he may have could have played this week if it was dire.
Yeah,
but they probably felt that it wasn't. So yeah, I expect him to be back next week.
They kind of dropped an opportunity right there though, because with the Saints losing, had they won that game, that would have helped them move up in regards to that. But I think they playing with house money anyway, because I ain't believe Chicago to be this good this year. So shout out to them. We talked about the Chiefs. That game was closer than it should have been, 40-33 over the Raiders. The Vikings, New England beat them 24-10. What you got on that game? You got anything?
On the Vikings, New England game?
Yeah.
I
don't think neither one of us picked them to win. The Vikings, I mean.
I did.
You took the Vikings?
Remember initially we both took the Patriots, and then we got to the end, and we only had one game different. I was like, fuck it, we got to pick something different. I got to catch up.
Gotcha.
So I ended up taking the Vikings. But I just remember sitting here Sunday watching that game, and I just kept thinking to myself, Kirk Cousins, they paid $84 million guaranteed for you. You looking real mediocre and average. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say about them.
But don't he ball against the suckers though? I mean, it's 400 yards against the suckers. But when it's prime time, everybody watching, he fold.
Exactly.
His money guaranteed. So.
Yeah. But the Patriots look good. They look like because I think they're coming off a loss. They were coming off of a loss, so they look to be kind of getting back together, especially getting Josh Gordon involved a little bit more on offense. That was kind of good to see. We talk about Kirk Cousins, but give the Patriots defense some credit. Might have been one of the better games they played this year.
To hold that offense to 10? Yeah.
Right. Slowing down Thielen and Diggs and Cook and them boys. So they played a pretty good game. They played a pretty good game. It's funny. It's funny how Kansas City loses Hunt. So unless they can find a combination of guys to kind of replace that, that's going to be an element of their run game, their offense that they're going to be missing. Pittsburgh will implode. They'll self-implode. And then voila, who's standing there waiting to take over the crown?
All right, we can move that up too, because that was on the list. That kind of puts them back into place for like front runner for the AFC right now, huh? They seem the most complete.
Possibly. I still like the Chiefs a little bit better just because what they can do on offense. And their defense is kind of coming around. New England don't have that explosive offense like they've had in the past.
No, they don't.
If they're going to continue to let Sony Michel handle more of a workload, then that could pay big dividends for them. Because I think he's probably good for averaging 5 or 6 yards a carry if he's got anywhere near some decent blocking. And like I said, they're getting Josh Gordon more involved and more up to speed and acclimated with their playbook. Mind you, I haven't heard anything about him not being able to learn the playbook, which you hear a lot in New England.
Yeah.
So
the rookies can learn the playbook. It's just the established vets they can't learn the playbook.
You know what I'm saying? And the weed head.
Yeah.
The weed head's learning the playbook.
Right.
Go figure.
Right.
But they right there. You don't want to have to play a Belichick team in a one and done. he'll game plan some shit up for you. So they definitely right there. I put them ahead of Pittsburgh.
You know what they need? You know what needs to happen for New England down the stretch? They need the Chargers to beat Kansas City in that second game, so they can move up. So they can move up to first place, and that game being Foxborough. They need that to happen.
I forgot about the Chargers. I need to stop disrespecting them.
We're gonna get to them in a second, but I really think that game. I don't think New England wants to go to Kansas City, even though I believe they can win on the road. I think it'll be harder for that young team to go to Foxborough in the cold and play there. They really need to get number one.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to come through them. Absolutely. Because in the years where New England has kind of came up short, not just like losing in a championship game or something, but some of those earlier like years, I don't know, Baltimore, some teams like beating them in the divisional round.
Yep.
You get them on the road, then you got your nice little chance. So,
and we sitting there, shout out to Kansas City, but Chargers a game behind. One game.
Yeah.
So
and that they play head to head again?
Yeah, they got that one more game head to head, and I believe it's in Kansas City. So we're gonna see. All right, your 49ers went up to Seattle and lost 16-43. Not much on this game, but I will say this: I like Dante Pettis. I think he's a solid piece for y'all. I like him.
Yeah, that was his best game of the season by far. He was I want to say we drafted him in the third round.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be a big piece of the offense as well this year. But he started off hurt, wasn't getting snaps because he's young. But now that we've got some injuries again, because Garcon or Goodwin didn't play in this game, so that allowed him to kind of step in there. And we're gonna be probably playing him heavy down the stretch to kind of see what we got from him. But because I liked what I saw from him on tape.
Yeah.
So when I saw that we drafted him, then I kind of looked up what he's a good route runner, got good speed, and he can catch the ball with contact and people around him.
Yeah.
So good to see him playing. I don't like his choice of hair colors, but that's a whole other story.
We haven't talked about him in a while, but is Jimmy on track for OTAs, or is it going to be further towards camp?
He's off the crutches. He is he's already started the rehab because him and McKinnon are kind of doing this together since they,
it really was close. What, about 3-4 weeks separated? Yeah,
about a month apart. Yeah. So they had an update on him last week. Everything looking good so far. So
cool.
He's walking around the facility doing practice. He actually, as a matter of fact, he traveled with the team this past week for the first time since the injury. So he's doing all right.
Deal with that. Seattle's moving. They're at 7-5, and they seem to be in control of their own destiny. Think they're getting in the playoffs. All right, the Chargers. Boy. The Chargers went up to Pittsburgh and won 33-30 on Sunday night. This is one of them games where it seemed like, what I felt like I was watching? I felt like I was watching that Carolina game a couple Thursday nights ago, where that shit started to snowball, and it seemed like Pittsburgh was moving, and they was just about to blow them out. This was an ugly loss. It was an ugly loss for Pittsburgh, but it was a statement win for the Chargers.
Yeah, definitely a statement win for the Chargers. And as you know how the Sunday night games go with me.
You ain't seen the fourth quarter, cuz.
Man, look, I was sitting on the couch. It was 15-3, I think, somewhere around about like third quarter.
Yeah.
I doze off. I wake up. It's 23-15 Chargers. So I'm like, all right, wait a minute, what happened? Let me wake up and watch what the hell is going on. So then I watch some more. Pittsburgh scores 23-23. So I'm like, all right, they is tied. They should be all right. I said, I'm just gonna go get in the bed, lay down, and watch the rest of it. Of course, I didn't see shit else until the next morning. I saw the 33-30 score. So Mrs.
I started to hit you late. I was like, man, he sleep. He ain't see.
You already know. Mrs. Diego. She tapped out at halftime, and that's her squad. Yeah, and the next morning, she wasn't happy.
Cause you gotta think, man, them Sunday night games, like the half is like what 10:30, 11 o'clock. So
that's it, man. Hey, man, old cat like us, man, that's tough, man. We've been up all day.
Watching since 1 o'clock.
All day. And on Sundays, my routine is pretty much the same because I'm going to wake up at 7 o'clock no matter what. Don't matter if I just went to bed at 4, which I had Saturday night. I'm going to get up, probably go work out. By that time, it's time 11, 12. It's time for pregame. Get your snacks ready. Get your beer. your
Yep.
drinks ready, and then you drinking and watching football all day. So by the time 10:30, 11 o'clock roll around, yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah, you tapped, man. The funny thing about this game to me, Phillip Rivers didn't throw the ball to nobody but Keenan Allen. Like, nobody. They couldn't send a cornerback in the slot to guard him. They had him
did,
on linebackers all night.
all night long. And they did it. The Chargers did a good job of where they lined him up at to continue to create those mixed matches. That was crazy.
Yeah,
He
Pittsburgh
basically played tight end for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm.
They moved, Joe Hayden would guard him when he moved outside, and he abused him too. Man, I'm so old. I remember when Joe Hayden was good.
Right, like lockdown. Considered probably top 5 corner in the league, even though Cleveland sucked. He was the only bright spot about Cleveland.
That's it. He was the only thing.
Him and the lineman, Joe Thomas.
That's it.
Those were the only 2 good things about Cleveland for years.
And that seemed like a long time ago because he's like terrible now. Like
Yeah.
terrible. Hey, the refs did miss that false start.
It
And
did.
that allowed them to get some life back. But hey, man, tough break. Shit happens.
Did the
I was
same.
still at home.
That and the bend through that pick,
That was a
right down there
terrible pick.
in the
Terrible.
red zone. So that took at least 3 points off the board, and you lost by 3. So, the refs did some bad calls, but you have bad calls every week, and you had enough self-inflicted wounds to offset what the refs did. So,
Yeah, man.
you up 16 points at home. Sorry, in the second half. Sorry, you got to close it out.
You got to win.
Now, big thing coming out of this game.
There you
James Conner. James Conner hurt. They said it was a leg contusion, but today they said it's more serious or significant than they originally thought.
Right.
Now, what did we sit here and say a couple weeks ago when y'all was Pittsburgh fans and y'all was so happy?
Burning jerseys and shit.
Lev Bell ain't coming back. We don't need him. We got James motherfucking Conner. All right. Don't. Yeah, and I hear the shit on James Conner because he been holding it down for the year, but he don't have Lev Bell hands. He don't bring what Lev Bell bring in the passing game. He's not Lev Bell. And
Hey,
I said, go ahead.
It's real simple. It's a whole lot of Robins. Everybody ain't Batman.
Not at all.
Just that
So,
simple.
and we sit right here and said, I think I said that if something happens to James Conner, what are they going to do if they have to rely on Ridley and Samuel? Now, they starting to play Samuel a little bit more, so they probably like him, probably because he's younger too.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see how that works if Conner has to miss extended time because Pittsburgh has put themselves in a bad position, really.
They are half a game up on ball.
Only a half a game. They 2 losses away from being on the outside looking in, really. Because another Baltimore win and the Pittsburgh loss, they're going to swap places because Baltimore going to take over the division lead.
Yep.
And then another loss will put them behind that bunch of 6-6 teams that are looking to jump up to that 6th spot.
Yep.
And they got some tough games. They still got New England. They have
They got New Orleans.
they still got the Saints.
They're gonna beat the Raiders in Cincinnati, but them two back to back, New England and the Saints, that's gonna tell the tale right there. That's gonna tell it.
And you can be without James Conner those 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Shit can go from sugar to shit real quick in Pittsburgh. So Ben,
Absolutely.
y'all better get it right.
Hey,
Because I don't want to hear my wife's mouth. I don't.
The only takeaway I got right now is shout out to Ben for not throwing nobody under the bus this week on his radio show.
It's only Tuesday. Give him
Don't the show
time.
come on Tuesdays? I think.
Oh, does it? I don't know.
On Tuesdays, I think.
I'll
So
say,
maybe it's Wednesday, so he does have time. He does. So,
give him time.
all right, last game. Philadelphia got right, beating Washington 28-13. I don't have much on that. Colt McCoy broke his leg. So that's 2 quarterbacks with broken legs, and you had to put Mark Sanchez in the game. Y'all need to start looking toward the draft, like hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they signed Josh Johnson today
Yeah, you're
to
done.
break him in for quarterback. So they they all but done.
I do have one issue with Philadelphia. One issue. Adrian Peterson is old as hell. How that man break for 90 yards on y'all?
Bruh. But you know what? I want to say,
Shout out to Canaan Nice. I need to hear from y'all. How did this happen? How?
we joked about Lamar Miller the week before, how long it took him to run the 90 whatever yards he ran.
Yeah,
He's a little bit younger than AP. You think AP beat him?
Cause
I don't know. Now
he
AP
put
was
one foot in the ground. That one cut, he was gone, dog.
he was gone. But you could tell when he got to about the 30, 35 or the
fumes.
30.
The engine was overheating.
Man, he downshifted that thing from fifth gear to fourth gear so quick, it was almost instant. It was almost instant. But luckily he had, a enough of a head start in the lead and he was able to make it. But it was like that. That thing slowed down real quick, boy.
but meanwhile, Christian McCaffrey's about 23 and got hawked down the other week.
Oh my God.
He got a good lead like that and got hawked down.
Because he's slow.
Man, that shout out to that boy Adrian Peterson, but
he's quicker than he is fast, McCaffrey.
Absolutely. I was gonna play a game tonight called Who Wants to Make the Playoffs with the NFC.
Nobody.
We kind of been talking about this back and forth. So we can leave that. We discussed Vance Joseph. Let me ask you this. I heard this today. If you're Josh McDaniels and you're the hot name out there, now technically we assume that Robert Kraft promised him on that wink the New England job. We got to assume that. But things change. Aaron Rodgers is available.
They ain't got nothing on paper. He ain't signed nothing saying I got to stay.
He ain't signed nothing. And ain't Tom Brady, 41?
Yep. And they pretty much gave us Jimmy Garoppolo.
Even
though we don't know ultimately how good he may be, but I think he's shown up to show he's good enough. You don't have nothing right now. Nothing right now. And what do you see coming down the pipe?
Nothing.
Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Like you said, Aaron Rodgers sitting out there.
But if you're Josh, is that Green Bay job that much better than Cleveland? Talent-wise, you looking at overall. Is that job that much better?
Now, talent-wise,
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. We know that. Right.
Yeah, talent-wise, it's not. Cleveland definitely has the better, younger talent. And with Green Bay, you have – I think they got a new GM in place now, so maybe he will change philosophies a little bit. They got a history of pretty much just trying to draft and grow and groom, not really pay too many big name free agencies from the outside.
Yeah,
I think they may need to change that a little bit. I ain't saying go out here and become winners of March like some of these teams do and don't win shit when it really matters. But I don't think you can continue to just try and groom players you drafted, because to me that's just holding on. That's ego a little bit, because you drafted these dudes so you want to prove that they're going to grow to be this certain player. Sometimes you miss on draft picks and you got to cut them when you need to cut them and move on. And sometimes it be veteran free agents out here that they can get for reasonable amounts of money to come in and help them. This is a franchise that wants to win Super Bowls. They ain't out here for wild card bursts and to be happy about shit like that. Like Jacksonville. This ain't what they about.
Does this kind of have the whole Atlanta Braves feel to it? Like they got the one and they should have went and got more. Mm-hmm. They got the people have said he's the best quarterback of his generation, but they've never really put a lot around him. They never have. And
they've had a lot of, and most of the times when they get to the playoffs and lose, it's either a lot of injuries or they never have a run game, or they ain't had no offensive line this year, or somebody didn't do their job on the onside kick. Yeah. The couple years ago when they came to Atlanta and they was playing pretty much third and fourth string off the street guys in the whole secondary in the NFC Championship game, and they got torched. It's just always something, you know what I'm saying, with this team that hold them back. So,
but do you think you think Green Bay's a better job though?
I mean, talent wise, I like the Cleveland talent better.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and that may be enough to entice him. It just depends. It just depends on what Josh's looking for.
I don't want to be long-winded, but they got 2 draft picks in the first round this year. What do you think they need in Green Bay? I kind of feel decent about their offensive weapons. Them boys are young, but I feel decent about that. I kind of feel like it's pass rush and defense. Well, offensive line.
It's definitely defense. Maybe some speed at linebacker.
Clay got to get cut.
He's getting up there in age. It's time to replace him.
Or restructure that money because he's making too much money for what they're getting.
Yeah, they need they need a little bit of everything. They need a little bit of everything.
All right, let's jump. We're done with the overreaction, bro.
A kicker.
Oh God, why wasn't he cut Monday? Oh my, he's cost them 3 games this year. 3
because he's Mason Crosby. He done been there forever. Because outside of that, that's the only reason that he ain't been cut.
Because you can't cost me 3 games in 1 year. That can't happen. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
Hey, Mason Crosby, you got the coach fired.
Hey, how do we feel on this show when you fuck up as a kicker? You got to fly home on your own, homie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You better catch the mega bus or Spirit Airlines, something. You can't come back on this team charter.
No, sir. All right, let's get off of that. Let's bring back the segment that you introduced last week called Done With This Shit. Got a few on here. We're going to start off. We are done as a show. It's probably going to continue to happen, but these wild animals beating on chicks. We're talking about Kareem Hunt, people. I don't know how many different ways to say it. Walk away. Walk away. You have the most to lose in these situations, but you're steady fighting women. You're going to lose the situation. She may have called your mama out her name. She might have called you a slur, whatever. Go in the room, shut the door, call the folks. This cat just and the worst part about this whole situation, everybody's looking at Kareem Hunt, but the NFL, had that video not come out, he would have been balling on Sunday. He'd have been balling on Sunday.
Right, because did the team say that they asked the NFL or they were asking for the video and they kept being denied the video?
I want to say we talked about this on the side, maybe not, but you're talking about $1 billion business. They can't never get tape when they request it. They can't never get it, but TMZ can get it every time. That don't make no sense to me.
Well, legal. Well, if you want to get the legal shit involved, which a lot of times these teams can hide behind that.
Yeah, the folks are the only people supposed to be able to get that tape. The folks.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know if the process is once somebody. Well, no, because he was never charged.
He was never charged. Spread the bread, cash money. You want to find out what happened? That's what TMZ doing. They ain't put no court order in to get the video.
I want to say it's a certain amount of time before the stuff becomes public record. And then once it becomes public record, then whoever can apply to get it.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was February.
Right. So if, like I say, that's just technically on paper in a roundabout way what's there. But we're talking about the NFL. If they wanted to really find out what happened, they could have. The problem I have with Kareem Hunt is it's not necessarily the fact that he hit a chick. And when I say that, don't take that the wrong way, because there are instances, so to speak, where you need to push somebody off you or defend yourself if you get attacked. But this by no means was that situation.
No.
He was fighting off his homeboys, plowing through people to get to this chick.
Yes.
You know, and then when they finally got him away from her, he came back for more. And then when she's on the ground, yes, he didn't wind up and punt her, or he didn't kick her, with the intent to knock her head off, but he kicked a chick on the ground for no reason.
Bruh, if he would have pushed her and went in that hotel room, I don't even think this might have been that big, because she ran up on him. If he'd have got her off him and went in that room, he might have survived this. But to knock your homeboy on the ground, to get to her again and kick her,
right? And see that, and that's where I don't. There's no excuse for it, because it's like I said, it's different if you're trying to get somebody off of you and you defending yourself. That's not defending yourself. You was hunting her down, basically.
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
And then he gets his ass on TV Sunday morning.
I ain't even watched that shit. I couldn't.
I'm not that kind of person.
I was raised by my grandmama and my mama.
it was a long night, and it don't really matter. Now, the best thing he did say during that interview was, it ain't no need for me to say what she did that caused me to react that way or something.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing.
I was in the wrong.
But because I was in the wrong. That's the only part I liked about
like
what he
that.
did.
And when he said Kansas City was right to cut him because he lied.
Yeah,
he
lied.
owned that part of it. He owned it. But I'm just tired of these young boys putting themselves in that position, man. Tired of it.
Yeah. And then it makes him look silly because he's sitting there, with my mom and grandma raised me, and I'm not the kind of person, yada yada yada. But we up to 3 incidents now. You got into an altercation with somebody and fought somebody in January. This thing happened in February. You punched somebody in the face in June. I was like, all right, how many times you gonna tell us you ain't this guy? But this shit is piling up.
Hey, dog, he had 3. I'm thinking 10 games.
8 to 10. 8 to 10. Yeah. Because he's gonna get 6 off the DV.
Off top.
He's getting that. That's just the baseline for the league, regardless of how egregious anyone thinks the situation was. He's getting 6 games off top.
Hey, young boys, this is some OG talk for you. In most cases, when it comes to anything, whether it be women, whatever, just tell the truth. People either gonna deal with it. If he'd have told the truth, they would have found a way. They would have suspended themselves, something, if he'd have told the truth. But just lying off top, there's cameras everywhere. I couldn't imagine being famous. I hope this show blows up. But I couldn't imagine being famous with cameras everywhere. Thank God we old cats went the Thundercats we were back in the day. But
and that's another thing now that I think about it, that I forget which show or radio show I was listening to. They made a good point. Everybody's talking why the league or why the team didn't try to do more. Well,
he lied.
Right. If he told them he didn't do anything, he was never charged.
Yeah.
The girl never pressed any charges. Let's just realistically think about it. Why would they go try to do? I mean, what would make them go want to look for more?
Because he said no one's come out the room. So
right.
So
I mean, what in that would make them go look for more?
Right. Hell, this situation that came out today with the January thing, he wasn't charged. Well, I believe he was mentioned, but he wasn't charged in that. So
right. I think that popped off really was 2 other people, and he kind of got involved in it, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So,
hey, but y'all gotta do better. You giving your careers away, and you're gonna be sat down for a while. So get the help you need. You're too young and talented. Try to figure it out, homeboy. My Carolina Panthers. I'm done with this shit. I'm done. How can I say I'm done when we like a game out the playoffs? But I'm pretty frustrated right now.
I'm about to say, yeah. I don't know how you can be done. Now, if y'all lose to who y'all play this week?
We beat Cleveland. Even if we beat them, we're 7-6 at 4:00 on Sunday. We got New Orleans and Atlanta the last 3 weeks. We got to run the table to get to the playoffs, and we need some help. Cam Newton's had a good season, a very good season, but some of them picks on Sunday, they were unacceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were ugly. I mean, ugly picks. I'm not a homer, people. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That boy Cam gave that goddamn game away. Excuse my French. He gave that game away. The defense held them pretty solid. If you think about it, for them to only score 24 points, he threw 4 picks. The defense kind of did a good job on Sunday, but that's unacceptable. Now, Ron Rivera fired the defensive line coach and the secondary coach on Monday. That may have been in the running for a while now, but it seemed like when you start firing the assistants, some change about to come.
And he took over the play calling, right?
He took over the play calling like mid-Sunday. So, but
middle of the game, okay.
Middle of the game Sunday, he got more involved, and now he's fully calling all the plays, which don't look well for Eric Washington, the first-year DC. But people, if we're not an excuse, but it's real. Our last 2 defensive coordinators are currently head coaches in the NFL. We've had no continuity over the last 2 years. None.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that. Of course, we know Steve Wilkes went to Arizona to be head coach. I didn't realize he took one of y'all top assistants or 2 of y'all top assistants with him.
And you think McDermott took some with him to Buffalo? So that's been going for the last 2 years. But had Cam Newton not turned that ball over 4 times, this would have been a different conversation. So it's like I'm off it, but I want them to win. So keep pounding.
All right, so let's talk about y'all playoff hopes. Because you talking about y'all got to run the table and need help, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're getting any help from. Well, I don't know.
Seattle's going to be straight. Minnesota should. Seattle and the Bears might not even be playing for nothing that last week. They really may not.
Okay. Yeah, we're not. I think we're in agreement. And they got the easiest schedule out of everybody. Washington, Giants, Jaguars, Titans, Philly. But
Philly got
I think
a tough schedule.
I think we're in agreement. Washington, we can just set them to the side.
Yeah.
Philly, the only way that they're going to get it if they win the division, I think, because at Dallas, at the Rams, the Texans, and then of course they finish with Washington. That's a tough next 3 games for them.
So they need Dallas to lose. They need to beat Dallas on Sunday, and then Dallas needs to beat the Colts, Tampa, and the Giants. Dallas's road still seems the easiest to me.
Yeah, I'm just expecting one of those games, if not 2. I'm expecting to see the old Dallas. And
they could lose at the Colts. I mean, technically, they lose the next 2 games. This is a different ball game, different discussion. They can very well lose to Philly on Sunday and go to Indianapolis and lose easily.
Yeah, so this thing is, I mean, it's still really too tight to even tell. It's going to be a week-to-week thing, man. It's going to be week-to-week.
Yeah.
Just to see how this go. And it's going to remain to be seen whether that tie hurts or helps the Vikings.
Right.
Right now it's helping them.
Yeah, it sure is. Keeping them right there in the position. All right, last one. I don't think I can pick the Atlanta Falcons another game this year. I want to say we talked about this on Thursday because we was like, man, like we keep picking them. They're going to score 30, but they don't score 30.
They have I think they've burnt me enough. I don't even know who they play this week.
I don't either.
I can find out real quick.
But watch all these Falcons fans. Fire Sark is his fault.
I mean, he's only part of the problem.
Yes, there's a lot of problems here in Atlanta with this team. It's not just him. It's not.
Like I say, you got a lot of, you don't like to blame injuries on stuff because everybody deals with injuries, but it gets to a point where you've lost too many starters and key players,
in
to
the
really
beginning of the season.
Right, to be at full strength. So, they fought back from what? 1-4?
1-4, yeah.
And they got the 4-4. And then that's when they kind of hit the bump because we thought, okay, they back on track. They got a game against, was it Cleveland? They should be okay.
Yeah.
And it's been downhill.
That went left.
It's been downhill ever since. I want to say they got to go on the road this week. The Falcons are on the road at Green Bay.
That's like the underachiever bowl.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the Gator Bowl.
All right, let's run up off this. We got a whole lot of other things to finish up in like 15 minutes. All right, we ain't got to touch the draft order. It is what it is. Atlanta. If I'm Atlanta, I would focus on that draft, quite frankly.
Might as well. You're eliminated from the playoff.
I would if I was them. All right, speaking of the playoffs, the college football playoff has been announced. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma. I'm not really surprised at all. Georgia, if we'd have took care of our business and closed out that game, we'd be ready for the playoffs on what? New Year's Day?
I think the first game is sometime here in January, in December. The next couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I think
this as a UGA fan, real. Did this one hurt more than the national championship?
Nah.
I don't know. This one kind of hurt. We were right there.
I mean, we were right there, but the national championship, I'll never forget that couple minutes.
That shit
for me, for myself. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was the sack. It was what, third and forever, and I'm jumping around, and by the time I could turn back around and focus on the TV, the ball is in the air.
That shit hurt.
And I'm like, he wide open. Drop it, please drop it. No, he didn't drop it. So yeah, the national championship, that one still hurt the most. Because even with this game, even though I felt we should have had this one and this one hurt, I felt that Tua wasn't 100%, so we didn't really get the Bama offense as they normally would be. And one thing I hate about these playoffs is the next games ain't till weeks or a month away.
Right.
So teams can kind of lose their mojo. And I always thought we would have had to beat Alabama again at some point.
Yeah.
During the playoffs in order to win a national championship, and it's hard to beat any team, especially a team like that, twice.
Right. Twice.
So, as hopeful as I was, I felt the odds were kind of stacked against us a little bit. But it definitely hurt. But the part that hurt, though, getting to answer your question, 4th and 11.
Oh my God!
And Kirby goes for that.
We can get into that now. Please.
He goes for a fake punt. Why 4th and 11? Now his excuse was that the play was open, but we didn't snap the ball fast enough, and by the time we snapped the ball, Alabama had noticed Swift and covered him. First of all, Alabama they never came out of their base defense.
No, bro.
Because you brought Justin Fields in.
I was about to say, when you bring Justin Fields in, everybody know he getting the ball.
Right.
Everybody know.
He damn sure ain't in there to cover kicks.
No. This right here was a colossal fuck up by Kirby.
Yeah.
If that's the play, a running play on 4th and 11 with your backup quarterback who everybody knows runs the ball when he gets it, because you weren't trying to win with that play. You weren't trying to.
Well, the play was a pass. Fields just didn't throw the ball because by the time he had hiked the ball, it was covered. There was nowhere to go, so he just kept it. Right. But it was supposed to be a pass play. They were supposed to catch them in a punt defense, quick snap, and you're supposed to have somebody's Swift in the slot open, and he can easily run 10, 11 yards. But that's too far to go. Once you realize that they are in base defense, you got to call a timeout, or you got to not run that shit, because you gave them the ball at basically midfield. Now Jalen Hurts had the other drive and got him back in it.
Shout out to Jalen Hurts too.
But you got to make him go 90 yards or however many yards. You got to pin them deep.
Right. Exactly.
That shit didn't make no sense, man.
I'm getting older now, so I try to find the positives in situations instead of being.
Ain't no positive in that.
I'm gonna tell you what I found with this. This is an old school reference. You understand this one. Is it still the same shit where you got to get your heart broke a couple times to get over a hump? Because we got to win next year. We done got our heart broke by the same team twice. If we don't know this team by next year, something's wrong.
Bro, we had them. We was
had
kicking
them 2 years in a row.
We was kicking their ass. Kicking their ass. And sometimes the commentators be saying shit or they be setting up certain shit and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Because they kept talking about, they've had an 18-point lead before. We'll see what happens. This was like early in the third quarter.
Early in the
third quarter, they was talking about that. And then when Jalen come in, this could be a storybook ending. I've been watching sports long enough to know foreshadowing, and when it happens, you can tell what's coming down the pipe. You can tell what's coming down the pipe. And Jalen Hurts came in there and shoot. Came in there, ran that thing in. This motherfucker goes for a punt. Whatever.
All right,
but
leave that be. All right,
but back to the committee. The committee got it right. This was a layup. This was to me, it was an easy decision. Once Georgia lost, you could not put Georgia in over a one-loss conference champion, whether it be Oklahoma or Ohio State, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I knew we weren't going to make it.
Does Alabama repeat? We got to get off this. We got to start speeding it up. Alabama repeat?
Yeah, they repeat.
I feel the same way. Urban Meyer retired due to health concerns. I think he's done. You think he's done?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this ain't just, I got to get my blood sugar together. They talking about, you're talking about a cyst on the brain.
Right.
It's been there for a while. It's been drained once or twice. The episode he had on the sidelines in the Maryland game, I think it was this year.
Yeah.
Where, he kind of just kind of broke down and had to get on the knee. Hey, man, one thing that don't mix well with brain injuries is stress.
No, that doesn't work.
Nah, so I think it's best that he go sit his ass down somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, this one's for you. I didn't watch the fight. Deontay Wilder and his name is Tyson Fury. Yeah. They fought to a draw. What you think? You watched it. What happened? What really happened? Who won?
Tyson Fury won that fight. And I wanted to. I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. I love Deontay Wilder. But like I told you on most of his fights, and I know I said it when we did it last week before the preview. He's not a technical boxer.
Right.
And so he usually will jab a lot. He didn't really even use his jab a lot this fight, but Tyson Fury was winning most of the rounds, if not all of the rounds, up until whatever round it was when Deontay got the first knockdown. Even with the knockdowns, people say, well, how can you knock somebody down twice and it's a draw? Are you saying that he lost? Well, if you're down 8 rounds, by the time you finally knock somebody down, that knockdown only gives you 1 extra point. So at the very best, the knockdowns only should have made it somewhat close. Okay.
At this stage in his career, he ain't changing, is he? Wilder, this is who he is. Man.
No, he's gonna be who he is. He's gonna be who he is, but he's gonna have to and he can do that, but he's gotta at least use a jab more than he did in this fight. Why he didn't in this fight, I'm not sure.
Man, that was a big dude he was fighting. That's a big dude. Good Lord.
It was, but it was, and he tries too much to for the home run, for the knockout punch.
Yeah.
Because he could have finished him the second knockdown. He could have finished him off, but he just started throwing haymakers and he ended up punching himself out. He was spent. Right. He definitely could have taken him, but the judges, some of the scorecards on the judges, one judge had it 115 to 111 Wilder. I'm not sure which fight they were watching. The judge that scored it 114 to 110 Fury, that's about right.
Okay.
That's about what I thought it should have been.
Okay.
I can even give the other judge that scored it 113 and 113 a draw. I can even give you that because sometimes in boxing, some of those rounds can go either way depending on what you personally are kind of looking for. Yeah. Some judges like just pure output, whether you landed or not, just like the activity. Some judges are looking for who lands the more meaningful, more precise punches, even though they may be less active. So it just depends. And then you have some judges that are just paid off under the table, so they just looking for the check. But so we're going to get a rematch.
You think a rematch in March? Somewhere around there?
Yeah, sometime in the spring. And now Deontay may probably win that one outright in the spring.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're not going to get him fighting Joshua December?
Nah. And I was reading even before this fight started that it was probably not going to happen even if Wilder had won this fight outright. Because I think Joshua is taking some kind of mandatory fight that he really don't have to take if he really wants to make this fight happen.
Yeah.
A lot of times boxers are used a mandatory defense. It's 87 federations.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll use, I have to fight mandatory fight over here to keep from fighting who they really should be fighting. It's way too much politics and bullshit in boxing and promotion in boxing. That's what keeps us from getting the best fights when we should get them. Mayweather, Pacquiao, the most recognizable one. But it's always some shit in boxing. It's just
last thing on boxing, what I've been saying for years, 2 weight classes, 200 and above, below. That's it. Because you on the street. 15 pounds ain't going to stop you from fighting somebody. It ain't going to stop.
Not at all. Shit pop off on the street. Ain't nobody pulling out a scale. Like, hey, hop on the scale. I need to make sure you're a welterweight.
You lose 5 pounds because we're going to fight next week. Nah.
Right. Run your ass around the block 3 times with a trash bag around your waist. You lose them pounds, then we can fight.
Nah, that ain't going to happen. All right, let's run through these last few real quick. Hey, Houston. Melo gone and y'all still getting beat. Who you gonna blame now?
Oh, it was Melo's fault.
Yeah, it's all his fault. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gave Chris Paul a whole lot of money. He was slowing down last year. And y'all gave him $40 million a year. And he's still talking that talk. Shout out to Chris Paul. Can't nobody beat us 4 times in 2 weeks. Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. Hey, Atlanta Hawks. Just from your boys at AA Sports. Stop winning games. Stop it. No more winning.
They went on a 2-game win streak last week, and I saw that dropped us from number 1 to like number 5. Hey man, y'all chill.
That's unacceptable.
Y'all chill.
Hey, Keep it close. Ball. I want Pierce to start taking out the starters when the game is close with like 3 minutes left. Take them out. Let's tank for real. Stop winning games.
That and Kevin Love, we need you to get back on the court ASAP so Cleveland can win some games. So we need that pick.
Kevin Love said he ain't coming back till like the middle of January, which basically means the All-Star break.
After All-Star break.
And by that time, they're gonna be good. And, man, Kevin Love, they gave him that hush money. They probably told him, "Look, dog, Bron gone. We gotta get these picks in." So we gonna have year off.
They already sent J.R. Smith home.
Yeah, J.R. Smith got sent home.
He been at home for like 2 weeks, right? J.R. Smith been at the crib for a minute now.
He been home for a while now. So
they're
tanking for real there. They're tanking. Happy trails to that boy Fred Hoiberg. I ain't think he was good to begin with. They shouldn't have hired you. But hey, shit happens. You probably gonna get all your money. Go back to college.
I was about to say, he'll be a good coach at like Iona or something. We'll see him in the Sweet 16 and shit, Cinderella making some noise.
Exactly. You just weren't an NBA dude. All right, final story of the night. As Markelle turns. Markelle Fultz has some type of, what is this thing called? I have it on here somewhere. Thoracic outlet syndrome.
You pronounced that hood girl's name in that story at the beginning of the show better than we could pronounce that shit. What is that shit called? What is that?
Man, did he have this shit before Jimmy Butler got traded there? Because I don't remember. He was playing fine before Jimmy Butler got there, and he got moved to the bench. Do you think he's hurt? I thought he was healthy.
I mean, they say he went to go see 10 specialists. I mean, if they paying specialists to put their reputation on the line say he got whatever it is, it's a nerve thing, so to speak. I mean, it's got to be something. It's got to be something. He didn't used to shoot like this 18 months ago.
I think it's mental. I really do. Because he can shoot the ball somewhat when he wants to, but man, who knows? They talking about should they trade him now? Who gonna take him?
I mean, if you think about a nerve, I mean, if it's really a nerve, then that could possibly make some sense of why the different hitches and why it's not. And
but I've seen some pure jumpers, and I've seen some of them that look good. So it's just hard to say. I don't know. This shit's a soap opera. I mean, but they're stuck with him. Ain't nobody gonna trade for him. I don't think.
Nah, he on a rookie deal right now. Anyway, I mean, it's his second year. I mean, they got time.
Yeah,
they got time
I wouldn't be trying to trade him at this point. I mean, I'd send his ass to the G League, let him play. Figure it out because they got to try to win now. If that's me, but I don't know.
Right. I mean, if something really wrong with them, get him healthy. Don't just be putting them back out there just to put him back out there.
Right.
Make sure he's right.
Right.
Make sure he can shoot a fluid jump shot.
Right.
And then put him in the G League. Let him get some burn. Let him get some confidence. Yeah. And then bring him back. Like in the spring after the All-Star break. I don't want to see Markelle Fultz on Philly Beats bench at least until after the All-Star break.
The number one pick in the draft can't be getting beat out by T.J. McConnell. So let that boy go to the G League, get his game together, then come back.
Hey, T.J. be balling. T.J. be balling.
T.J. got heart, though.
T.J. be balling.
Let's get up out of here, boy.
Did you see what Jimmy Butler said about him?
About TJ or Fultz?
About TJ.
Nah, I ain't see what he said.
Nah, he was just like, man, I love that dude, TJ, man. He picks up full court all the time.
Yep. He got heart. I mean, that changed the whole perplexion of the playoffs for them last year when they started playing him in that starting lineup. I still think they need help. But
yeah, they definitely need help. Definitely.
They need a shooter, something serious. I still feel like they should have went out and got Korver, but I'm gonna start paying attention to the NBA a little bit more serious now. It's coming up on that time. But another note before we get up out of here. Shout out to the people from the fantasy league who made the playoffs. Shout out to that girl, bartender Danny. Shout out to Alpha Ice. They will be playing in the first round. Shout out to the returning champion Driscoll Ferrari.
Yeah.
He will be playing Kane the Great from the Kane and Ice show. Shout out to him. That boy
Glass. I didn't hear Glass.
He lost on points. Danny got him on the points with that tiebreaker because they all finished, I want to say 9-4. But
Danny was nervous. Danny hit me Sunday morning. She was nervous because she got Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt got it with that one, but hey, he's hurt me in the money league too. But it's all right.
So Kane and Ice made it.
Yeah, they made it in different divisions. Shout out to them. Shout out to
All
them.
right.
They ain't
All right,
Philly
then.
ain't making the playoffs, so you gotta have something to be excited about.
Hey man, I'm still gonna hold on till they're gonna win the division some kind of way. Like
They got a
8-8.
tough road, cuz they got a tough road.
Yeah.
They pull that shit out. I mean, but technically, we gotta get up out of here. But technically,
This week is a big game.
Don't they always strive on being the underdogs?
Yeah.
They did. So maybe that's what they needed.
And this is one of them divisions where sometimes 8-8, 9-7 is what gets you in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean it's possible what they got.
It's a big game this week. They play Dallas this week. It's gonna be a big game.
They got Dallas this week. They're gonna be on a high. Then they got to go to LA. Then they got the Texans coming. The only gimme they got is Washington.
Yeah.
We don't know who's gonna be playing quarterback by week 17 for Dallas. For Washington.
Is Terrell Price still there?
Nah, he's somewhere. He's like parts unknown.
Oh.
And shout out to Kelvin Benjamin.
It'll be Jordan Reed. That's who was warming up last night, I think.
He's playing tight end. They got him playing quarterback too.
I think he's like emergency quarterback.
Are you shitting me? Wow. Hey man.
Yeah, there it is.
Tough break.
All right, people, we finna jump up out of here. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We had a good show tonight. We recapped week 13 of the NFL, went over some playoff possibilities, told y'all who the hell we was done with, college football, a little bit of boxing, NBA talk. We're going to start ramping that up a little bit more as we get closer to Christmas because, of course, we got them big games on Christmas Day, and that's usually the official start for us to basketball. So,
did I ask you last week, where does Bryce Harper go? Did we say the Nationals?
Oh, no, but I saw him and Nelly on Twitter or Instagram, and Nelly was like telling the St. Louis Cardinals manager, hey, come get this man.
Magic Johnson met with him today in Vegas.
Okay. I mean, he's going to be getting he's going to be getting a lot of steak and lobster dinners over the next, month or so. When does baseball free agency start? It's like December, right?
It's December.
Okay.
Shout out to the Braves adding a bat. We needed a bat. Shout out to him. Josh Donaldson. He was an MVP like 3 years ago. So. And
they brought a oldie but goodie back, Brian McCann. I think he's there more for a veteran leadership in the reserve role.
Yeah.
But I think the names I was hearing with Bryce Harper is
Phillies.
Philly's going to be in the run. LA. Of course, the Nationals, LA, and maybe the Yankees. So
maybe
we'll see.
He's still getting over $300 million, so he won either way in life.
Yeah, because he turned down what?
That was a funny. Yeah, that was that funny money deal. You can't come at me with that. I'm a rock star. You go. Not coming at me with $250. So.
All right, we finna get up out of here. Hey, tell the people where to reach you at on social media.
At Rike6000. Holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, you can holler at your boy. I'm at Diego Barish on Twitter. Also, don't forget to continue to check out the AA Sportscast Fantasy. Well, yeah, sign up for the Fantasy League next year. But check out the Facebook, Twitter, and IG pages. And again, continue to watch, hit those subscribe buttons when you're viewing our ugly faces on YouTube. And then also continue to share those episodes on either podcast platform, whether it be Spreaker or iTunes. So again, for your boy Uncle Hate, for your boy Diego Barishnikov, we are AA Sports, baby. Straight sports, no chaser. We up out of here. We'll holler at y'all in a couple of days for the Week 14 picks. We up out. Peace.
Peace.